how much of this influenced your very first movie, Siva? Because we have the...
See, definitely a lot. Because see, I mean, one is I said because I was very heavily involved into gang fights in my college days, and even in my intermediate days, because there used to be in Hyderabad the people called Dadas, Even in those Dadas, I could see the characters of Godfather reflecting some kind of a resemblance. So this guy is that guy is this, and all that. So since I was always inclined towards that, and if in college, if we were students and there will be some student unions and some fightings going on, and we kind of ask some outside help where Vangaviti, Ranga or Devanand Nehru, so they in effect were the similar things in terms of that. The influence of them coming onto the college and college students becoming a strong force for them as army, like a support. So that parallel world was always running underneath it,
Right.
So that you will see in the way. Now, I don't see a fundamental difference between Vangabidi Ranga and Godfather. Now, Vangabidi Ranga I knew in engineering college, time itself. Yeah.
Yeah, so switching to the technical aspects, there are many iconic scenes in The Godfather, but the most talked about is the very first scene, which starts with I Believe in America, when Bonasera sits across the table of Vito Corleone and explains the trauma that his daughter is going through. As a movie buff, as a movie enthusiast, I was completely blown away by that shot. And we are talking about 1972.
Yeah.
So the camera starts with a very tight close-up with a black background, and as it pulls back, it moves into an over-the-shoulder shot, revealing Vito Corleone and setting up the entire stage. That was a phenomenal shot. So, did you experiment with that in any of your movies?
See, basically for me, I'll tell you, my problem with Godfather was actually that particular scene, what you're talking about. Why the reason is, I do not believe a scene like that can happen. Because see, the mafia or any criminal organization, and the guy who's in a position of power to take care of people's problems, they would never make it look like a business deal. That was my problem. See, they would be very emotional, and they take in the person who's come to them with a problem with so much of seriousness, and they make him emotional, because their whole thing is to make you feel indebted to them for the help they've done. They will do anything for you if you ask them, but then you become indebted to them, and they will call upon you whenever they need you. That is how they develop the whole network.
Right.
So I thought Bal Thackeray was much more symbolic, because Bal Thackeray is not a criminal organization, but he is in the context of that without having any political position, like a government position or elected leader, by the pure power of his charisma and the kind of a belief he has managed to get into people, that gives him the power for him to do even violence when he chooses to do so. Okay. So I thought when Amitabh Bachchan, when he listens to the old man talking about what happened to his daughter, and the judiciary has failed to give him justice, and he gives it, So there I feel it was, I wouldn't say cold blood is not the right point. So when he says, why didn't you come to me? See, he's talked about what happened to his daughter. In that kind of a thing, why didn't you come to me? Why did you go to the police? I find that kind of a line very insensitive to say in a man of that kind of a position. Whereas if you see Bachchan, he takes it to his heart as if it happened to his family member.
Right.
So then when he says, to explain how the mafia operates, maybe that is Mario Puzo's intention in the particular scene. But I think the scene was constructed very falsely, in my opinion, which is the reason I changed it. Right. That is one part. Second part is, the tone of the Godfather book is vastly different from the way Coppola shot it.
Right. I was coming to that.
What is the tone? So the tone is, the book, in the book he writes, Amerigo Bonasera sat in New York's Fifth Court with vengeance in his heart. Vengeance upon the two people who so cruelly hurt his daughter. So when the judge leaves them and he tells his wife, for justice you must go on her knees to Don Corleone, So the point for me, it has an intensity. You sat in New York's Fifth Court with vengeance. I like the detail of the Fifth Court. So that becomes like a technical cold-blooded procedure.
Right.
And there's no emotion in the way the judicial system functions. which is where Sarkar steps in.
Absolutely.
You know, so I try to capture that tone as much as possible of the book when treating the characters of Sarkar, whereas I think Godfather has done the exact opposite of it.